So now we're going to read Matthew 1. What do you guys think of this hair? You know, my hair is falling out from my chemo pill, so I'm going to have to start thinking about wearing wigs. Okay, we're going to read Matthew 1 in a pink wig. You know, me and my husband are going on the Eric Metaxas cruise next week. So I'm psyching up. You know, usually I was very athletic. I'm probably going to be an old lady sitting around on the ship in a pink wig. Okay, so we're going to read Matthew 1. Now look, okay, here's Malachi, the last book of the Old Testament. And until Matthew, you see, there was 400 years where God was quiet. No prophets. No, you know, the Old Testament was written, the whole Bible is the genealogy of Jesus, where he came from and why he's here. And my new series is we're reading through the whole Bible. Okay, I'll even read it on the ship in Greece. And we're going to visit lands where Paul the Apostle preached the gospel, which I am saying right now, 2,000 years later. Okay, you know, I wear these glasses in the movie called, it's coming out on Amazon soon. And the director said, we want that look for our movie, don't wear them anywhere else. Boardwalk Winter. Yeah, I'll be wearing these in that movie, but not this. Okay, Matthew 1. Now remember, this is a genealogy of Jesus. Okay? Where did he come from? And you know, he came from the Jewish race. However, there were non-Jews in his lineage. Very interesting. Like Rahab the harlot and Ruth. Okay, this is a record of the ancestors of Jesus the Messiah, a descendant of David and of Abraham. Abraham was the father of Isaac. Isaac was the father of Jacob. Jacob was the father of Judah and his brothers. Judah was the father of Perez and Zerah, whose mother was Tamar. Perez was the father of Hezron. Hezron was the father of Ram. Ram was the father of Abinadab. Abinadab, Nahshon, Salmon. You know, this is important, even though it sounds boring, because archaeology is digging up stuff, and the Bible is historically, archaeologically, scientifically accurate. And the more we find out, the more we find out. Salmon was the father of Boaz. His mother was Rahab the harlot. Boaz, the father of Obed. His mother was Ruth. Obed, the father of Jesse. Jesse was the father of King David. David was the father of Solomon, whose mother was Bathsheba, the widow of Uriah. All these people are in the Old Testament. You can know all about them. Solomon was the father of Rehoboam, father of Abijah, Asa, Jehoshaphat, Jehoram. Uzziah was the father of Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, which I named my dog after. Manasseh, Amon, Josiah. After the Babylonian exile, blah, 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 blah. Zerubbabel, Eliakim, Azor, Eleazar, Jacob was the father of Joseph, husband of Mary. Mary gave birth to Jesus. Now, I always say, why do we need to know Joseph's lineage? Because God was the seed in Mary, not Joseph. Look it up on Google. I would like an explanation. Maybe they just want us to know where his parents came from. But Jacob was the father of Joseph, the husband. Mary gave birth to Jesus, who is called the Messiah. Now, I think Mary's lineage goes back to David and Abraham too. I'm sure. Biblical scholars, please comment. All those listed above include 14 generations from Abraham to David, 14 from David to the Babylonian exile, and 14 from the Babylonian exile to the Messiah. Now, biblical scholars, if you want to go deep, there's a lot of meaning into that, but I'm not good with numbers, so I'm just going to keep going. And prophecy. This is how Jesus the Messiah was born. His mother Mary was engaged to be married to Joseph. But before the marriage took place, while she was still a virgin, she became pregnant through the power of the Holy Spirit. As Judy Tenuta would say, it could happen. You know, God can do anything. Luke 1:37. I mean, if he made the universe, yeah. Joseph, her fiance, was a good man and did not want to disgrace her publicly, so he decided to break the engagement quietly. As he considered this, an angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream. Joseph, son of David, the angel said, do not be afraid to take Mary as your wife, for the child within her was conceived by the Holy Spirit. And she will have a son, and you will name him Jesus, or Yeshua in Hebrew. Jesus is the Greek form of that. For he will save his people from their sins. I think the word Jesus means God saves. The word Yeshua. All this occurred to fulfill the Lord's message through his prophet. Now it's pointing back to saying, hey, this is fulfilled prophecy. Look, the virgin will conceive a child. See, even non-believers were spreading the gossip. Maybe that's why God did it, so everyone would know about it. Look, the virgin will conceive a child. She will give birth to a son, and they will call him Emmanuel, which means God with us. When Joseph woke up, he did as the angel of the Lord commanded and took Mary as his wife. But he did not have sexual relations with her until the son was born, and Joseph named him Jesus. Yeah. Tomorrow, I might be wearing a different wig, and we're going to read Genesis 2 and Matthew 2. Love you guys.